So good morning everyone. So we start with the tutorial problem. So tutorial number 5. So here is the question. A hollow cylinder, with inner radius 30 millimeter and outer radius 50 millimeter is heated at the inner surface at a rate of 10 raised to 5 watt per meter square and dissipated heat by convection from outer surface into a fluid at 80 degrees Celsius with heat transfer coefficient of 400 watt per meter square Kelvin. There is no heat generation. There is no heat generation and thermal conductivity of the material thermal conductivity of the material is constant at 15 watt per meter Kelvin. Calculate the temperature of inside and outside surfaces of the cylinder. Okay. So you can see here the problem statement, that is a hollow cylinder, that is, one second, here that is a hollow cylinder and the inner radius of that hollow cylinder is given, that is 30 millimeter, and outer radius is also given, that is 50 millimeter. Okay, so right, okay, heated at the inner surface, so it is heating from the inner surface at a rate of, that is heat flux is given, that is small q is given 10 raised to 5 watt per meter square, and it is dissipating. Okay, there is no insulation outside the surface of the hollow cylinder, so heat is continuously dissipating into the surrounding fluid, that is only by convection. Okay, so the inner surface, that is hollow cylinder, the inner surface, from the inner surface it is heating, and through the inner surface the heat is actually transport by the conduction mode, and from the outer surface to the surrounding, there is no insulation at the outer surface, so from the outer surface to the surrounding it is actually dissipating the heat by convection mode. Okay, so heat is by convection from the outer surface into a fluid that is at a temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. So that fluid, surrounding fluid over that particular hollow cylinder is having a temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, with heat transfer coefficient is given because the convection is taking place outside the surface of the hollow cylinder to the surrounding fluid. So heat transfer coefficient is of very important. Okay, so heat transfer coefficient is given for that particular convection mode. So that is given as 400 watt per meter square Kelvin. There is no heat generation, that is given in the problem. This, it's actually an assumption, that is there is no heat generation inside that particular surface, and the thermal conductivity of the material. So thermal conductivity is the intrinsic property of the material that is connected to the conduction. So for conduction, that is thermal conductivity of that particular material is constant. It is not varying with respect to the position. So it is constant at 15 watt per meter Kelvin. So they are asking to find out the temperature of inside, that is the inside surface temperature, and the outside, that is outside surface temperature of the cylinder. Okay, right. Okay, question is right, I think. Okay, so from hollow cylinder, that is hollow cylinder, we draw the schematic diagram of this particular problem statement. So it is the from the problem statement you can see the domain is a hollow cylinder. So hollow cylinder, from the front portion you can see like this. So here from the center, that is the radius is R1, that is the inner radius, and the outer radius is R2. And here the inside surface temperature is T1 and the outside surface temperature is T2. Okay, that's clear. Okay, so T1 is the inside surface temperature and T2 is the outside surface temperature, and there is a surrounding fluid that is covering this hollow cylinder. So that surrounding fluid which is having a temperature of T infinity, that is given in the problem, that is 80 degrees Celsius. So then just write the what all things are given in this particular problem. Okay, so first you write the things that you are that is actually given in this particular problem. That is inner radius is given, R1 is equal to 30 millimeter, that is equal to 0.303, that is meter, and R2 is already given, that is 50 millimeter, so that is equal to 0.05 meter, that is also given in the problem, and the heat is dissipated by convection, that is T infinity is given 80 degrees Celsius of the surrounding fluid, that is T infinity is given, that is temperature is given 80 degrees Celsius, and the small q, that is heat flux for that particular conduction part, the heat flux is given, that is 10 raised to 5 watt per meter square, and for the convection mode, the heat transfer coefficient is given. Heat transfer coefficient is given in this problem. So that is equal to 400 watt per meter square Kelvin. And there is no internal heat generation and thermal conductivity. They are saying that thermal conductivity is constant throughout that particular material. So K, we write it as K, that is equal to 15 watt per meter Kelvin. Okay. So these are the things that is given in this particular problem. Okay, so they are asking to find out, that is T1, that is the inside surface temperature, and T2 outside surface temperature. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this problem. Okay, so we have to start the problem. We already know that Q is equal to, that is heat transfer rate is equal to, that is the driving force divided by resistance. So why we write it here R total? Because there is two resistance that is offering in this particular problem. That is, one is by actually convection, that is through the solid material, and through the surrounding fluid there is a convection that is happening. So there are two resistance that is offering in this particular problem. So that we written here R total, and we say that R total as R1 plus R2. Okay, so here this is the general statement, that is Q, that is any rate that is equal to driving force divided by resistance. So for heat transfer, that is the rate, heat transfer rate, that is equal to temperature is the driving force, the difference in temperature is the driving force divided by the resistance that is offered by the particular material. Okay, so R total is R1 plus R2. So we know that R1 is equal to, from the generalized equation of the hollow cylinder, we know that R1 is equal to ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by 2 pi Lk. Okay, we know that that is the resistance, that is the denominator part for the hollow cylinder, that is resistance, that is equal to ln of R2 divided by R1 total divided by 2 pi Lk. So we know that ln of R2 and R1 is already given in the particular problem, K is also given in the particular problem. Then you arrive at the answer to that particular resistance, that is R1. So that is ln of 50 divided by 30 divided by 2 pi L into 15. 15 is the thermal conductivity. So the answer is 0.034 divided by 2 pi L. So R1 is equal to 0.034 divided by 2 pi L. So the first resistance, that is a conduction mode, the resistance is actually 0.034 divided by 2 pi L. Then coming to the R2, that is the convection resistance. So R2, that is equal to 1 by, we know that Q is equal to H into that into A into delta T. Okay, so Q is equal to, we know that Q is equal to HA delta T. So from here, you can say that Q is equal to, that is delta T divided by, that is 1 by HA. Okay, so here this is the resistance and this is the driving force in terms of, that is what, convection. Okay, in terms of convection. Okay, driving force divided by resistance. So R2 is here what, 1 divided by 2 pi R2. Okay, 2 pi R2 into L. 2 pi R2 into L into H. Okay, 2 pi R2 into L into H. Okay, that is the resistance that is offered by the convection mode. So that is equal to 1 by substituting the values, 1 by 2 pi into R2 means that is 0.05 into L into the H is already given in the problem, that is 400. Okay, so from here you will get the answer of R2, that is 0.05 divided by 2 pi L. Okay, so R2 is we solve. Okay, R2 is equal to 0.05 divided by 2 pi L. Then we know that, then we substitute this R1 and R2 in R total. So R total, from this you will get R total. So R total is equal to 0.034 divided by 2 pi L plus 0.05 divided by 2 pi L. Okay, so that is equal to R total, that is R total value is 0.084 divided by 2 pi L. Okay, so the denominator part we calculated. Okay, with respect to the resistance offered by conduction and convection. So R total is equal to 0.084 divided by 2 pi. Okay, so then the equation, that is a hollow cylinder, that equation we know Q is equal to, that is T1 minus, instead of T2, here we know only the temperature of the surrounding fluid. So that is equal to T1 minus T infinity into 2 pi L divided by 0.084. That is the resistance. Okay, that is, we know that the generalized equation, we know that here we know Q is equal to delta T divided by R total. So R total we already calculated as 0.084 divided by 2 pi L. Then substitute that R total in the basic equation, that is Q is equal to T1, that delta T is equal to T1 minus T infinity, because T infinity is given in this problem. That is the surrounding fluid temperature is given in this problem. So T1 minus T infinity into 2 pi L divided by 0.084. Okay, so for steady state, we already know that Q is equal to Q1 is equal to Q2. Okay, we know that there are two modes of heat transfer that is taking place in this particular problem statement. One is by conduction and one is by convection. Okay, so what is Q1? Q1 is equal to, we say that Q into, that is Q1 means, that is Q1 means heat flux of that particular conduction mode into that area. Okay, so we know that heat flux is equal to Q divided by A. So from that you will get this equation. Okay, Q is equal to Q1 into, that Q1 means the heat flux of the first mode, that is conduction mode, into that area. Okay, so from that you will get Q1 is equal to 10 raised to 5 into, that is 10 raised to 5, that heat flux is given in the particular problem, that is 10 raised to 5 into 2 into pi, that is the area we are coming here, the 2 into pi into, that is 0.03 R1 into L. Okay, so from here you will get the value of Q, that is equal to Q1 is 1000, not 1000, 18,840 L. Okay, so that is Q1 is equal to 18,840 L. Okay, so is it clear? Okay, up to this mark it's clear, I think so. Okay, Q1 is equal to 18,840 L. Okay, then we can substitute this particular term in this equation. Okay, this particular term in this equation, that is Q1, we know that Q1 Q2 is equal to Q. So here you can substitute the value of Q1. Okay, so 18,840 into L, that is equal to T1 minus 18, that is the T infinity temperature, into 2 pi L divided by 0.084. Okay, right. Okay, so you can cancel it out, the L term, from right hand side and the left hand side, that is common in right hand side and left hand side. Then you are rearranging this particular term, then you will get the value of T1. T1 is equal to, that is 332 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the inside temperature you calculated. Okay, so inside temperature is T1 is equal to 332 degrees Celsius. Okay, then we move to the next part, that is the other part is you have to find out the outside surface temperature. Okay, T1 is right now we calculated, then T2 we don't know the value of T2, that is the outside surface temperature. So the same Q2, that is Q2 is the other mode of heat transfer that is taking place outside the surface, that is by convection. Okay, so Q2, that is equal to 2 pi R2 into L into H, that is heat transfer coefficient, that is HA delta T, that is coming here, into T2 minus T infinity. Okay, outside surface temperature into T infinity is the surrounding fluid temperature. Okay, so Q2, that is from here we know that Q is equal to Q1 is equal to Q2. So instead of Q2, we substitute that 18,840, because it's a steady state problem. 18,840 into L, that is equal to 2 pi into 0.05 into that L into heat transfer coefficient we know 400 into T2 we don't know minus 80. Okay, from here you will get the, when you are rearranging this particular section, then you are getting the value of T2. Okay, so we are cancelling out the L and L from left hand side and the right hand side. Then you are rearranging this particular equation, then you will get the value of T2. So T2 is equal to around 230 degrees Celsius. Okay, so from the problem statement, the problem statement actually asks us to find out the temperature, inner surface temperature and outer surface temperature. So we calculated that is the inner surface temperature and outer surface temperature. So inner surface temperature is 332 degrees Celsius and outer surface temperature is 230 degrees Celsius. So T1 is greater than T2. Okay, so where there is a temperature gradient existing, then there is a possibility of heat transfer. Okay, so I think the problem is clear to all of you. Okay, thank you all.